Hello everyone, Purple Witcher here. I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be showing you my Northern Realms Mages deck, which is based around the alumni card, which is insanely powerful and also incredibly fun to play. So I'm going to be talking you guys through the different cards in the deck, as well as be showing you my gameplay as well. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go and take a look at the cards. So guys, welcome to the Gwent deck builder, where we can see the deck in full, and one of the first things to discuss is the leader ability, and the ability I have chosen for the mages deck is Inspired Zeal, which basically boosts an allied unit by 2 and gives it Zeal, which means that we can use its order ability straight away. And this is useful for this deck because we have quite a few cards that do have an order ability where we can't use it until the next turn. And it also does this 3 times throughout the game, so great leader ability for this deck. And another important thing that we have here is the starting advantage for when we go first, which I have chosen as Crystal Skull. So Crystal Skull boosts an allied unit by 4 and gives it Veil. So if we play a card first, for example, Banard Student, Arachusa Student, or Letitia, which we want to buff up for as long as possible through a long round, we want to increase that patience, we don't want those cards to die or be locked, so this card is really going to help protect those units that we place on the board first. So a very, very useful starting advantage to have here. So this is a very high synergy deck, which means the cards work really, really well together, and they do this through patience, and I'll show you what patience does and how it works in the gameplay. So let's go through the main cards in this deck. The main cards are Arachusa Student, Banard Student, Alumni, as well as, where is she, Letitia. These are the 4 main cards in this deck, which I would say are definitely the most important. So let's go through bottom up. Let's start with the bronze units this time. So Arachusa Student will boost an allied unit by 0, and this will go up every turn. Her patience will go up every turn that you do not use her order ability. Now the Banard Student does the opposite. He damages an enemy unit by whatever his patience is. So every turn you do not use his order ability, his patience will go up. So if you don't use, if he's on the board for 5 turns and you do not click his order ability, he will be able to damage an enemy unit by 5. Next we have Spellweaver, and Spellweaver is really good to put down early in a long round, as he gains 1 charge whenever you play a spell on mage, and he damages an enemy unit by 1 whenever you use the charge. And we can also use our leader ability to give Spellweaver Zeal as well. And Arachusa Adept is a very strong bronze card. She is an engine, so whenever an allied unit's patience goes up, so Banard Student and Arachusa Student, she will boost herself by 1. So if both of the students' cards are going up by 1 patience each turn, she is going to get a 2 boost every turn. So she is a very powerful card, which we definitely want in our hand. And then we have Casting Contest, which is a spell. This will boost an allied unit by 5, and if it's bronze, it will reset its order ability. So for example, if we reset one of the students, we would be able to do its damage or boost again. So that is very, very useful. Next we have Owl's Thunder. Most of you probably know this, which is damage a unit by 5. And the great thing is that it's a spell, so it counts towards Spellweaver's charges. So the most important card here is Alumni. Now Alumni's order ability is predetermined by both the Banard Student and Arachusa Student, depending on what their patience value was. If it was 4, if both of them were 4 or higher, Alumni will have Zeal, so we can play his ability straight when we put him on the board, which is very useful. So the great thing is, if in round 1 we can boost Banard Student up to 7 or 8 damage, Alumni is going to be able to do 7 or 8 damage to an enemy unit. Or if we get Arachusa Student boosted up to 7 or 8, he will be able to boost an allied unit by 7 or 8. So a very, very powerful card. And that the great thing about Alumni is that he is a bronze unit. So Shani can bring Alumni back from the graveyard. Queen Adalea can spawn another copy of Alumni and give it shield. Reinforcements can spawn another copy of Alumni, And we also have Casting Contest, which can boost alumni by 5 and reset its order ability. So we have the potential to have a lot of alumni, and that is the main play here. Is we want to spawn as many alumni in round 2 and round 3 as possible with the help of all the other cards in this deck. So that is the main play here. Let's take a look at a few other cards that we have. We have Rune Word, which is a spell. We have 2 of these. These create a Northern Realms mage and gives it shield, so it can be any Northern Realms mage, doesn't matter if it's in the deck or not. We also have Margarita. She's pretty easy, she just locks an enemy unit. And Reinforcements spawn a base copy of a bronze allied unit, which is already on the board. So obviously we want to target alumni with this, but if we can't do that, it's always great to have another spell weaver down as well. And Letitia. I said at the beginning, Letitia is another important card because her patience goes up the same as the Barnard and Aretusa students, but her patience value boosts other patience units' value. So if Letitia's patience is sitting at 5, when you click her order ability, she will boost Barnard's student or Aretusa student, or both if you have both on the board. She will boost both of their patience values by 5. So for example, if Barnard's student was on 5 patience, Letitia's was on 5, if I clicked Letitia's order ability, she would boost Barnard's patience by 5. So on the next turn, Barnard would have a total of 10 patience, which means that with alumni, we would be able to damage an enemy unit by 10. So she is very, very useful when we are buffing up our student cards. So yeah, I love Letitia. And we also have Death Mode. Death Mode is a mage that just boosts all other mages by 1. Just a nice little card to have in there when we have a lot of units down. And then we also have Donmir, who all Northern Realms players will know. He is a defender, so he protects all of the units on the same row as him from being manually targeted. And he also has a shield, so he does not absorb the first instance of damage that is dealt to him. And Queen Adelaia is very useful in round 1. She spawns a base copy of a bronze unit from your hand and gives it shield, so very useful for one of the students in case one of them dies. We can just give them a bit more protection. And we also have Rafford's Vengeance. Rafford's Vengeance is technically a siege engine. It plays a unit from your hand and draws a card, and it has a cooldown of 5, so if you can get Rafford's Vengeance down in an early round, you may be able to use this again. And also, when you play a soldier or mage next to Rafford's, it will damage an enemy unit by 2, so very useful card to have as well. Really helps thin the deck. So if we haven't got alumni, for example, we can just have a chance to draw alumni. And we also have Shani. Shani's a human. She's not a mage, but very useful. She will summon a bronze human unit from your graveyard and give it doomed, and she has a cooldown of 7. So this is very useful for bringing back those students from round 1. If we didn't use their order ability, she can bring them back, and then we can finally use that order ability. Or, obviously, if alumni has died, we can bring alumni back straight away with Shani. So Gerhardt is another mage which uses patience, and he will play a 4 provision spell, and he has zeal, so he can do this when you play him. And just like the other units, when his patience goes up, this number will go up, and so the provision of the spell that he will play will match his patience number. And the final card that we have in this Northern Realms deck is AA, or Amphibious Assault. And everyone knows I love this card. In my opinion, every Northern Realms deck should have this card, as it allows you to take any unit from your deck with a provision cost of 9 or less and play it on the board, and it will come back again in the next round. So if this is in your hand in round 1, you use it, you get a unit from your deck, it goes into your graveyard. At the start of round 2, it will move from your graveyard back in your hand, allowing you to pick another 9 provision or less unit from your deck and play it onto the board. So yeah, this is the deck in full, guys. I will put the link in the description to the full deck list if any of you guys want to import it onto your Gwent profile, and you'll be able to see all the cards in full, read all the descriptions and everything. So yeah, let's take a look at the gameplay. Okay, let's get into the gameplay, guys. Oh, we're going up against Northern Realms. Okay, not too bad. Okay, that's great. So we've got both of our students, which we want to buff up. We could just do with getting Letitia, but not too upset if we don't get her. So let's see. Ah, there she is. Absolutely perfect. Okay. So I would play Letitia first because we want her patience to be as high as possible to boost both of the students. So we want to play Letitia, and then we want to play Barnard, and then we want to play our chooser student. I just like to play Barnard first because personally I always use alumni to damage instead of boost. That's just the way that I like to play him personally. So you can see that Barnard's student's patience has gone up to 1 and Letitia is now at 3. And now we can play our chooser student. So Letitia's at 4, Barnard's at 2, and our chooser student is at 1. And I'm probably just gonna lock this Lubbokin right here. Use Margarita. Pretty annoying. There we go. So Letitia's on 5, Barnard's 3, our chooser student 2. And I think now because Letitia's starting to get damage and she's on 5, which is really good, I'm going to use her order ability now. So on the next turn, Barnard and our chooser student will both be boosted. And I think I'm just going to play a Spellweaver here. So now we can see Barnard's student is on 8 and our chooser student is on 7, which is really, really good. And because we've already buffed them up pretty nicely, I'm going to pass here. And that will count as a turn. And yeah, Barnard's gone up to 9 and our chooser student 8. Which means that Alumni is going to have Zeal as well. So that was a perfect round 1, to be honest. We used Letitia to boost these. And we've buffed up the Alumni very, very nicely here. Okay, so now that we've used the students, we don't need them anymore. Now the aim is to spawn alumni. Don't really need our chooser student, but there's nothing we can do about having her in hand already. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use Shani to bring back that Barnard student because I didn't click his order so that he was boosted up to 9. If I would have clicked him, it would have only been 8. So I'm going to bring him back and I'm going to give him Zeal so that he can kill this card right here. And we've just got to kind of survive round 2 here, but it won't be that difficult. We could just throw down our chooser adept, so we don't really need her. That's a lot of boost in there. And I will use Rune Word, just see what we get. Barnard student, Cintron Enchantess, give allied unit vitality for 2 turns. Or Meditating Mage. Here I'll probably just use the Enchantress. Okay, so it looks like we may have to use alumni now. I will use Queen, or I could also use Raffords. I'm probably going to use Raffords and just keep Queen for round 3. And we can use the leader ability to give Rafford seal. Play alumni. And we've drawn Donmere, which isn't too bad. The only thing is, obviously, these units have shield, which is really annoying. So I'm going to use alumni to damage Nenekir over here. And they have passed, so I will pass too. And I'm actually going to be going into round 3 1 card up from the opponent, which is really good. And now again, we just want those alumni. Hopefully we can get some. So we don't need Barnard. We don't need Arachu's Adept. Okay, this might be difficult if we can't get any alumni. Wow, we haven't got any. Okay, but I think we can still do this. I will play Donmere first. We may get alumni with Rune Word as well. And we can spawn 2 Spellweavers with Queen. So yeah, we play Queen, and then we choose a bronze unit from our hands. The only one we've got is Spellweaver, so there we go. We've got another copy of Spellweaver, and he has shield. And I think I'll just play the other Spellweaver and get rid of these units' shield. And this unit, if we read it, gives an allied unit shield, so I'm actually just going to kill this card before it does that. Just use Spellweaver to do some damage here. Right, let's see if we can get an alumni. Oh no, we haven't, but that's fine. We can do a Spellweaver, another Spellweaver. We'll just do Spellweaver spam. A lot of Spellweavers can be just as powerful. Well, actually, not as powerful, but they can still do quite a lot of damage. As we can spawn another copy of Spellweaver here. And now these have all gained a charge. Oh, we're not going to be able to kill Selkirk, but his dual power won't be as high now. Okay, so I think we won, guys. Can just do some more damage with Spellweavers to finish. And there we go, a nice little victory. Even though we didn't get any alumni in round 3, it just shows this deck is still pretty powerful. It's not too reliant on alumni, as I was able to get a victory there just with Spellweavers. So let's go into another game, and I'll try and show you guys just how powerful it is with alumni in round 3 as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more alumni in hand. So let's try and do that now. Scoia'tael, okay. Oh, I got a crystal skull. So that helps, that does help. Have students, that's good, okay. Maybe don't need 2 adepts. And don't need 2 casting contests. Okay, no Letitia, but that's fine. Play Barnard first, and I'm going to use Crystal Skull to boost him by 4 and give him Veil. So he should be pretty protected. It's going to be pretty hard to kill Bernard, unless he's moved. But yeah, hope that doesn't happen. And we want to play our choose a student after him. And I usually would put our Chooser Adept down next because she is an engine, but this card is going to damage an enemy by 1 every other turn, and that's decreased every time they play an elf. And they're probably going to put a lot of elves, so I'm just going to kill that straight away. Get rid of that damage. Don't want that damage. Now I'll use our Chooser Adept. So Bernard's already at 4, which isn't too bad. We can still get him quite high up without using Letitia. It's just Letitia really, really helps get him boosted up as early as possible. You don't need a really long round if you have Letitia. I think I will actually lock this unit with Margarita. Lock this enemy engine. And I'm just going to throw down the other our Chooser student because we don't need her later in the rounds. So now you can see how much our Chooser Adept plays for, how many points she does play for when we've got both students' patience going. She's boosting herself by 2 every single turn. So she's a really powerful bronze card in this deck, you guys can see. And just to get Bernard and our Chooser up a bit more, I want to keep the rounds going as long as possible without using the cards that I want for the later rounds, because I want to get their patience up as high as I can for Alumni. I'm going to just play Spellweaver. So Bernard is on 7, our Chooser on 6, and I'll pass here and that'll go up again. So Bernard is on 8. Bernard's on 8, so Alumni is going to be able to do 8 damage, and that's without Letitia. So we've done pretty good here as well. Okay, so we don't need our Chooser Adept anymore. This is funny. This happens quite often. We get Letitia when we don't need her anymore, so we don't need her. And we got Bernard. We got all 3, and we don't need them anymore. But there's nothing much we can do about that. May as well put him down now. We'll still be able to use his order ability. And we can bring back this one with Shani. But I want to wait until this card gets to 8 points before we use his damage, just so there's no wasted damage. Let's use Rune Words, see what we can get. We've got Alumni. Yeah, we can use an Alumni now. And I think I'll throw down Donmere. Okay, now I'm going to use Shani to bring back the Bernard from round 1. Here he is. I have to give him Zeal. Okay, so hopefully they should pass now. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's go into round 3. Hopefully we can get an Alumni. Because we do have 2 casting contests here. So it won't be very good if we have 2 casting contests and no alumni, but we'll see. Ah, damn. And we have, yeah, Queen Adelaide is going to be bricked here, but there's nothing we can do. This is a great example of a bad hand, but we'll see if we can win with a bad hand. Hopefully we can. At least we can use casting contest for death mold, but there's not going to be many mages. Ah, okay. I think Barnard student's going to be the best bet here. Oh, that's tough. Okay, so I'm going to use Barnard student, damage enemy unit by 2, and then we can just use casting contest on Barnard. But I think this might be a defeat here. And we can just boost our units by 2 with the leader ability. Okay, so we've got 20. I don't think that's going to be enough, but let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, so sadly we got a victory and a defeat, but I wanted to show you guys, you know, what the deck can do. We won without getting any alumni in round 3, but it was good to show you guys what happens when you do get quite a bad hand. You know, obviously there's no perfect deck in Gwent. It's really, really hard to get a perfect deck. And sometimes you do just draw a bad hand and you can't help that. And I couldn't help that then. So I hope you guys really enjoyed watching having a bad hand. I hope that kind of gave some good perspective. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching the gameplay. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the alumni card. I think he's really powerful, and I think he will stay powerful for a long time. And this deck is just so much fun to play. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will leave my link in the description to my Twitch channel. Yes, that's right, I do stream live on Twitch. I usually play Gwent. So if you like watching Gwent live, go ahead and check me out. Join the purple community. I promise you will not be disappointed. And see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.